There is a deal every Yellowstone visitor makes without knowing it. You walk the boardwalk at Old Faithful while bison graze 30 feet away. You photograph elk from your car window at Mammoth, engine running, doors unlocked. You have seen the warning signs so many times they have become wallpaper. You have decided the distance rules are for tourists, not for someone who has done this before. The animals never agreed to that deal. The visitors who get hurt in this park are not the ones who came unprepared. They are not the first-timers with flip-flops and no water. They are not the international tourists who have never seen a wild animal larger than a dog. The ones who get hurt are Americans. They have been here before. Some of them have been here dozens of times. That is not a judgment. That is what the injury reports say. And the animals do not read those reports. The pattern shows up in 40 years of National Park Service incident reports. The injuries happen at Mammoth Hot Springs, where elk graze 10 feet from the parking lot. They happen on the boardwalks at Old Faithful, where bison cross the path you thought was safe. They happen on the backcountry trails where cell phones do not work and help is hours away. You have walked past the elk at Mammoth so often they feel like furniture. You have done this enough times that you know the rhythm. And that is exactly when the rhythm changes. The animal that has injured more visitors than any other is not the one you are picturing. It is not the grizzly. It is not the wolf. It is the animal you walked past this morning without a second thought. Today we are walking through 11 species that appear on Yellowstone's official safety guidance. Some of them have killed. Some have never touched a human being. There is a predator in this park that has never attacked a single person since it was reintroduced. You have been taught to fear it your whole life. By the end of this video, you will understand why the animal you should actually fear looks nothing like it, and why it might be grazing 20 feet from where you parked your car. Now, let us begin. Number 11, the prairie rattlesnake. In the entire recorded history of this park, 2 people have been bitten by a venomous snake. 2. The prairie rattlesnake is the only venomous snake in Yellowstone. It can grow to 4 feet long, thick-bodied, armed with venom potent enough to kill an adult human. And it has bitten exactly 2 visitors since 1872. The snake lives in the warmest, driest corners of the northern range. Reese Creek, Stevens Creek, an area called Rattlesnake Butte. If you have hiked the lower Yellowstone River corridor, you have walked through their habitat. Most visitors never see one. The snake sees you, decides you are not prey, and does absolutely nothing. The ones who do get bitten? According to the National Park Service, most snake bites occur when people deliberately handle or harass snakes, which is prohibited by park regulations. The snake did not attack. Someone reached for it. This placement might seem low. It is. The rattlesnake is barely a statistical threat in this park, but the lesson matters. Stay on the trail. Watch where you step in low-elevation scrub. Do not reach into rock crevices you cannot see into. The snake has never hunted you. Your certainty has. Number 10, the coyote. If you have walked through Yellowstone at dawn or dusk, you have probably seen one. They trot across meadows like they belong there, which they do. They weigh 20 to 35 pounds. They hunt rodents. They avoid people, except when they do not. January 2020. A 43-year-old woman was cross-country skiing on the Grand Loop Road near Canyon Village when a young coyote bit her on the head and arm. She fought it off. Rangers tracked the animal and killed it. The necropsy found porcupine quills embedded in its jaw and mouth. The coyote was not rabid. It tested negative. It was starving. The quills had made it impossible for the animal to hunt normally. Doug Smith, Yellowstone's chief wildlife biologist, said afterward that encounters like this are rare, but they can happen. The pathway to aggression is almost always food habituation, animals that have been fed by humans, deliberately or not. And this was not the first time. November 1960. A coyote attacked a 1.5-year-old baby in a stroller at Mammoth Hot Springs. The child required 21 stitches to the face. January 1990. A park employee skiing in Biscuit Basin was bitten on the face by a coyote. He beat it off with his ski pole and required stitches to his head, face, neck, and hands. 3 documented attacks across 60 years. All involved animals that were either starving or habituated. None were predatory in the sense you might fear, but every one of them was real. The lesson here is not to fear coyotes. The lesson is to understand that even an animal built to avoid you can become dangerous when humans break the barrier between wildlife and food. Number 9, the wolf. Wolves returned to Yellowstone in 1995 after a 69-year absence. The last wolves had been killed in the park in 1926. On January 12, 1995, the first 8 wolves arrived from Jasper National Park in Alberta. Today, the population fluctuates between 80 and 120 wolves. Here is the fact that matters. Since 1995, there have been 0 wolf attacks on humans in Yellowstone. Not one, not a single injury, not a single fatality. Across roughly 120 million visitor days, involving around 100 wolves at any given time, no one has been hurt. Doug Smith has said that wolves are probably the least dangerous large carnivore in North America. That is not speculation. That is 3 decades of data from a park where wolves and humans share space every single day. This might sound like I am telling you wolves are harmless. I am not. The mandatory 100-yard distance from wolves is real. It is law. The closest thing to an incident came in 2009 when rangers killed a wolf that had been chasing bicyclists near Old Faithful. The animal had become habituated to human food. It was approaching people. It was not hunting them. It was begging. And that is exactly what made it dangerous. Not predation, but learned behavior created by human carelessness. The wolf earns its place on this list not because you should fear it. It earns its place because you have been told to fear it, and the data says that fear is misplaced. The 100-yard rule exists to protect the wolves from you, not you from the wolves. Number 8, the mountain lion. You will probably never see one. Based on 2003 statistics, when the park logged 23 sightings among nearly 500 employees and more than 2 million visitors, the odds of spotting a mountain lion in Yellowstone are roughly 1 in 86,000. There are 34 to 42 mountain lions estimated on Yellowstone's northern range. They were eliminated during the predator removal campaigns of the early 20th century and re-established a viable population in the 1980s from Idaho. They are solitary, crepuscular, and almost impossible to spot. The National Park Service notes that there have been very few documented confrontations between cougars and humans in the park's entire history. The phrase is deliberate. Very few, not zero, but close. What the park does advise is this: if you see a mountain lion, do not run. Running triggers the chase instinct. Instead, act big. Yell. Show your teeth. Make eye contact. Back away slowly. If attacked, fight back. That last instruction sounds terrifying, but the context matters. Mountain lion attacks in Yellowstone are so rare that the advice is precautionary, not reactive. You are far more likely to be struck by lightning in this park than stalked by a cougar. But the cougar is out there, hunting deer in the dark, and part of respecting this place means knowing that. The mountain lion is not the animal that will hurt you. It is the animal that reminds you what kind of ecosystem you have walked into. Number 7, the black bear. There are 500 to 650 black bears in Yellowstone, compared to roughly 150 grizzlies in the park proper. You would think more bears would mean more injuries. The opposite is true. Between 1979 and 2023, bears injured 48 people in Yellowstone across approximately 140 million visits. Grizzly bears were responsible for 39 of those injuries. Black bears caused only 9, a ratio of more than 6 to 1, despite black bears outnumbering grizzlies by more than 4 to 1. The reason is behavioral. Black bears typically flee from humans. When surprised, their instinct is to climb a tree. They are not harmless. A 400-pound animal is never harmless, but they are built to avoid conflict, not seek it. You are on the roadside. The bear is 20 feet away, chewing on something. Your phone is in your hand. You step closer for the shot. That is the moment the statistics stop being abstract. 34 of 45 black bear injuries between 1970 and 2002 happened at roadsides. Visitors approaching bears for photographs, for feeding, for that one shot. The bear was not hunting. The human got too close. The distinction that matters is this: if a grizzly attacks you, play dead. Face down, legs spread, hands over your neck. Let it establish dominance and lose interest. But if a black bear attacks you, fight back. Black bears are more likely to view a human as prey if the human does not resist. Knowing which bear you are looking at could be the difference between the right response and the wrong one. And in Yellowstone, both species share the same trails. Number 6, the moose. Moose are the largest members of the deer family. Adult males can weigh close to 1,000 pounds. They can injure people by charging, stomping, or kicking. The moose population in Yellowstone numbers fewer than 200. They are among the rarest large mammals in the park. Wildlife biologist Brad Bulin has called them probably the most aggressive of what we have in Yellowstone. That statement comes from someone who studies every large mammal in this ecosystem. Rarity does not mean safety. It means fewer encounters, but the encounters that do happen carry higher stakes. Moose react particularly strongly to dogs. They perceive them as wolves, a natural predator. If you are hiking with a dog in moose habitat, you have introduced a trigger that can turn a passive moose into a charging one. The 25-yard rule applies. But with moose, Even 25 yards may not feel like enough when a 1,000-pound animal decides you are a threat. Number 5. The elk. Elk are the most abundant large mammal in Yellowstone. In summer, the population can reach 20,000. They graze in meadows. They wander through parking lots. They lie down on the lawns at Mammoth Hot Springs like they own the place. And for about 6 weeks every fall, they become unpredictable. The rut runs from September through mid-October. During this period, bull elk are flooded with testosterone. They will charge humans who get too close. The National Park Service issued a specific warning in August 2024. Stay away from bull elk. They called the animals unpredictable and much more aggressive during the rut. People have been severely injured. In 2019, a concession employee was injured by a cow elk at Mammoth Hot Springs. The previous spring, 2 other individuals were injured by cow elk in the same location. The park deploys volunteer monitors specifically to keep visitors at a safe distance during rut season. If you have hiked Mammoth during rut and kept your distance, you understand what most visitors do not. A bull elk weighs up to 700 pounds. It can run 35 miles per hour. It carries antlers that span 4 feet. And during rut, it will not retreat. It will not bluff charge and stop. It will go through you. The elk is dangerous, not because it is rare, but because it is common. You will see elk. You will be tempted to get closer. And the animal that looks so peaceful grazing beside the road can become something else entirely when the season turns. Number 4. The grizzly bear. Since 1872, 8 people have been killed by bears in Yellowstone. 7 of those 8 deaths were caused by grizzly bears. The reason the grizzly dominates every safety briefing, every warning sign, every piece of park literature is not frequency, it is consequence. 75% of fatal bear attacks in Yellowstone involved men, not couples, not families, men, usually alone. 88% happened in groups of fewer than 3, the solo hiker, the pair of friends who thought they did not need a third. 75% occurred in the backcountry, the trails that only experienced hikers attempt. The profile is consistent. Solo or paired male hikers in remote areas. The profile is not a tourist who wandered off a boardwalk. The profile is someone who has done this 100 times before and assumed this time would be no different. Since 1979, 44 people have been injured by bears across 118 million park visits. The risk of injury per visit, 1 in 2.7 million. That sounds safe. It is safe until you are the one. The risk of death, 1 fatality per 26.2 million visits, according to researcher Carrie Gunther. But here is what the numbers do not capture. Bear injuries have dropped dramatically over the decades. In the 1960s, Yellowstone averaged 45 bear injuries per year. By the 2000s, that number had fallen to roughly 1 per year. Meanwhile, the grizzly population has grown from 136 in 1975 to over 1,000 in the greater Yellowstone ecosystem today. More bears, fewer attacks. The change came from management, closing garbage dumps, enforcing food storage rules, educating visitors about proper behavior in bear country. The grizzly is dangerous, but the grizzly is not hunting you. The grizzly attacks when surprised, when defending cubs, when protecting a food source. Every fatality in Yellowstone's history fits one of those scenarios. The response is not to avoid the park. The response is to hike in groups of 3 or more, make noise on the trail, carry bear spray, and know the difference between a bluff charge and an attack. Bear spray is 92 to 98% effective at stopping bear attacks, and yet only 28% of backcountry visitors carry it, only 23% of day hikers, only 7% of boardwalk users. The grizzly is the second most dangerous animal in this park, but the gap between the danger and the precautions people actually take is wide enough to matter. Number 3, the bighorn sheep. I debated cutting this entry. 0 attacks. But the physics of a 40-pound horn at full speed made the list. Ram horns can weigh up to 40 pounds, more than 10% of the animal's total body weight. Males weigh between 125 and 300 pounds. During mating season, battling rams crash head first at speed. The impact produces a sound similar to a rifle shot. There are no documented attacks on Yellowstone visitors by bighorn sheep. The species appears on the National Park Service 25-yard rule alongside bison and elk. The danger here is theoretical, but the theory is based on physics. The National Park Service put them on the 25-yard list before they hurt anyone. That is how dangerous the physics looks. An animal that generates rifle shot impacts with its skull is not one you want to test. Number 2, the deer. There are roughly 3,000 mule deer in Yellowstone. White-tailed deer also occur throughout the park. Inside park boundaries, deer attacks on visitors are rare. The danger is not confrontation, it is collision. Deer cause 175 to 200 human fatalities per year in the United States, nearly all from vehicle collisions. Wyoming alone records more than 4,000 deer vehicle accidents annually, with approximately 100 injuries and 1 to 3 fatalities. You are more likely to die from hitting a deer on the drive to Yellowstone than from any animal encounter inside the park. The park boundary does not mark where the danger ends. It marks where the danger changes form. The deer earns its place on this list, not as a predator, but as a statistical reality. The animals that kill the most people are not always the ones that look dangerous. Number 1. The bison. This is the animal that has injured more people in Yellowstone than any other. Not the grizzly, not the wolf, not the mountain lion, the bison. I would have ranked bison lower. The data forced me to move it here. Since 1980, bison have injured more pedestrian visitors to Yellowstone National Park than any other animal. The peer-reviewed journal Human-Wildlife Interactions documented 25 bison injuries between 2000 and 2015, nearly 2 per year, every year, for 15 years, and the injuries continue. June 2024, an 83-year-old woman was gored by a bison and lifted a foot off the ground by its horns. She was airlifted to a hospital. 2023. A 47-year-old woman from Arizona suffered spinal fractures, collapsed lungs, and extensive bruising after a goring near Lake Lodge Cabins. 2022. A 25-year-old woman walking on a boardwalk near Old Faithful was thrown 10 feet in the air. June 2026. A 12-year-old child was injured by a bison near Mud Volcano and hospitalized. The victims range from 12 to 83 years old. They were not doing anything reckless. They were walking. They were on boardwalks. They were where visitors are supposed to be. A bison can weigh 2,000 pounds. It can run 35 miles per hour, 3 times faster than you. It can jump a 6-foot fence from a standstill. It looks docile. It grazes like cattle. It has a face that belongs on a postcard. That face hides 2,000 pounds of muscle that has put more visitors in hospitals than any predator in this park. And it is not domesticated. It is wild. And when it decides you are a threat, there is nothing you can do. In April 2024, a man named Clarence Yoder from Idaho Falls kicked a bison while intoxicated. He was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct, approaching wildlife and disturbing wildlife. The bison did not injure him, but the incident is a reminder of how little some visitors understand about what they are standing next to. In 2023, park rangers issued 63,676 warnings for wildlife infractions. That number includes approaching animals too closely, feeding wildlife, and disturbing natural behavior. 63,000 warnings in a single year, and bison injuries still happen. None of this means you should fear every bison you see. Most encounters end without incident, but the ones that do not end without incident end badly. Only 2 people have been killed by bison in Yellowstone since 1872, the last in 1983. But deaths are not the measure here. Injuries are. And by that measure, the bison is the most dangerous animal in the park. 25 yards. That is the legal minimum distance. It applies to everyone. It applies to you. And here is what the ranger at the gate is really trying to say. The brochure is not a suggestion. The distance rules are not guidelines for beginners. The animals that live here do not know what you have read. They do not care how many times you have visited. They do not reward familiarity. They punish assumption. Hot springs have killed 22 people since 1872, nearly 3 times more than bears and bison combined. The ground itself can kill you here, but that is a different video. The person most likely to be injured in this park is not the nervous first-timer who keeps their distance because they do not know any better. It is the confident repeat visitor who gets a little closer this time, because nothing happened the last 10 times, because the animal seems calm, because the shot would be perfect from just a few feet nearer. Familiarity is not protection, it is exposure. And the more time you spend here, the more chances you have to make the one mistake that changes everything. If you work in this park, if you have seen the injuries, if you know what visitors do not know, drop a comment. Tell me what you have seen. The most surprising stories might shape what comes next. And if this changed how you think about Yellowstone, subscribe. The channel is built on this kind of research. Stay safe out there, not because you are afraid, because you respect where you are.